So once you have your license, well, then you have to look at something called auto insurance. It is mandatory to have auto insurance. If you do not have insurance, you should not be driving. It is the law. So your auto insurance rates are determined by the following factors. So the first one's your personal profile. So what kind of vehicle are you driving? And they're going to look at the make, the model, cost of repairs, because if you get into an accident, if the repairs are more expensive, your insurance is going to be more money. The rate of injury. So the better the safety ratings of that vehicle is, the better your insurance is going to be. Also, the likelihood of the car being stolen or the vehicle being stolen. They're also going to look at your driving record. So the number of accidents you've been in. If you've had driver training will lower your insurance rates. So I highly recommend that. Also, how much you drive. So the more time you're on the road, the higher the likelihood that you'll be into a car accident. So if you have a 2-minute drive to work, your insurance is going to be lower than if you have like an hour-and-a-half drive to work. Also, where you live. Insurance is higher in cities because there's more accidents in cities than if you live in more rural areas. Your age also plays an impact on it. It is cheaper if you're over 25 years old. And the reason for that is you're more experienced and you tend to get into fewer accidents. Teenagers are less experienced, and even if they're trying very hard, let's say all of a sudden there's a snowstorm and the roads are slippery, okay? The more you drive, the better you're able to handle situations like that where they just kind of creep up on you. So age actually does play a factor as well. So the amount of coverage you purchase will also make a difference, okay? Basically, there's a mandatory amount, okay, that you have to do, but also you can choose if you want collision coverage. So that protects you for damages to your vehicle regardless of who caused the accident. So collision means that not only will it pay the other person's vehicle, but it'll also pay for repairs to my vehicle. So when you have new vehicles, you definitely want collision coverage. Sometimes if you have an older vehicle not worth very much money, you don't pay for the collision coverage because it's just not worth it. There's also comprehensive coverage. So that protects you against theft, vandalism, hail, it could be a stone chip. Now, let's say you're driving down the highway and all of a sudden you get a big stone chip and it cracks your windshield. So it's your comprehensive coverage that covers that. But you may be asked to pay something called a deductible. So by having a higher deductible of $500 instead of $300, so what that means is that you pay the first $500 and the insurance will pay the rest, or you pay the first $300. So if your deductible is higher, then it's a little bit cheaper. If it's lower, you actually have to pay more, and it'll actually save you if you pick the higher deductible about 10%. The problem being, you'll have to pay the first $500, and sometimes, depending on your plan, it could be $1,000. So then you have to ask yourself, well, the cost of repair is $600. I have to pay the first $500. Is it really worth me doing? And then the last thing is the insurance company itself. So shop around. It does make a big difference. Some insurance companies are more expensive than others, and even if you find a cheap one today, it doesn't mean that in the future there might be a cheaper one out there for you. So you should always look for the best rate for yourselves.